Yes, friend and guest. Harvey Mason is in the house. That's unbelievable. I love Harvey Mason. I know you're going to love him too. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Nunya, how are you today? Oh, yeah. Just warming it up here. Hey, Nick Cabello, James Elliott, B3 Garrett, You know the name of this song, folks? Yeah. That's right. Chameleon. Written by the great Harvey Mason. You know what they say about a black cat? You gotta be careful, he might step on the wrong thing. Magic's here. Dave here. How you doing, Dave and Terry? Sergio. Hey, Tim. That groove on Drum Genius, by the way, is funky. Funky number 10. Guess what? That's Harvey Mason and the Chameleon Groove. Yeah. I knew Harvey'd get a kick out of that. He's in lights. Everywhere. I'm so honored that he's here with us today, and I'd like to thank you for joining the show. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Without further ado for me, you know, my Wednesday show, I feature people that I admire. And, you know, we all get mentored by different people. And that's important as we age to mentor, right, to reach out and help the young people come along. And I was introduced to Harvey by someone who has become a very good friend as well. His name is Mr. Peter Gunther, who is the man of Java Jazz. He and his wonderful family and Dewey put on one of the biggest jazz festivals in the world. I don't know how many years I've been there now. It's been many. I've been blessed to return every year, not only just blessed to return, but to be asked to return. And on my first visit, Mr. Gunther says, "You've got to meet Harvey Mason." I couldn't believe he was telling me this. And by the second time I went to Java Jazz, Harvey Mason played a set with me. I was freaking out. And I think he was freaking out, too, the way they put us together in a stage. It was very interesting. But you know what, man? When there's music to be made, that's all that really counts. So I'm honored to have him as my guest today, and more honored that because he is definitely a person that I admire most. So without further ado from me, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring on Mr. Harvey Mason. Can you believe it? Mr. Harvey Mason. Harvey, how are you?
Tony, what's up? Monaco.
Oh, man, I miss you.
I know, man. They got us down, but not for long. We're gonna make lemonade out of lemons. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that. And I miss playing with you. It's been too long.
Tell me about it, man. You know? Well, we all been held up. I've been held up here since March, you know? I came back from Jakarta on March 2nd, and that's been it. I've done a couple sessions, but it's been pretty dormant.
That's it. There's nothing. I don't think any real promoters are going to try to attempt to do anything this year.
Not really. No, not now. No, it's too tough.
You know.
Too tough.
But you look like you're taking care of yourself. I'm sure you're taking care of yourself, right?
You know me, always working out, man.
I know. You always call me in the morning. I can't believe you're in the West Coast, and I'm just getting out of bed.
Oh, yeah, I hit it. I love it. You know, I'm addicted. I've been working out for 40 or 50 years, man.
Yeah, man.
So,
but you find you need that for your stamina, too, right? I mean, that really changes.
Well, I think I need it for my health first. And then the playing comes is a natural. It's a bonus. Yeah. You know, the play. You know, it helps the playing for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the health. If you're healthy, then it helps you playing, especially playing drums.
Yeah. Well, you know, in the way you play 'em, man.
How you been doing? You been healthy?
You know, man, I am so healthy I can't even believe it.
You're staying home.
I ride my bike every day.
Oh, good.
I've been working out, and you know, I don't have any more vices left except a little bit of coffee now and then. You know.
So you don't smoke anymore, right?
I quit everything.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good. So is a stationary bike?
Stationary because last October I fell off a real bike. And I broke my arm. It was like a year and a half now. And I had to cancel all my gigs. And then I went to Jakarta and played Java Jazz. And then that was it. So I've been kind of laid off for a year and a half.
Wow. Man, you broke your arm. Yeah, riding in the street is very, very tough.
It's bad, man.
I've been spinning for, I don't know, 6-7 years or something. And then when the COVID hit, I'm a Peloton guy. I bought a Peloton. I love it. So I do that now.
It's safer too, and you can put on the big screen and go wherever you want and put a
exactly.
On, you know?
It's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I got a big screen TV. I put like cycling stuff, and then I just ride the bike.
Oh, cool, man.
You know, because I broke my right arm, so I couldn't play for 3 months. I had a bunch of gigs lined up. And then,
That's
Jerry
crazy.
Weldon, the saxophone player, Jerry Weldon, he,
Yeah,
he told me, he says, I got 2 words for you. He said, stationary bike.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, man.
Yeah, stay off the streets, man. People are crazy,
Boy, I'll tell you.
you know.
So, what's on the horizon, Harvey? Do you got
Well, I've been working on a record.
plans?
I've been working on a record, and it's been a little bit slow. I work for a couple of days, and then I take off. But I'm trying to have something out by July. Been working on a record. I've been playing on some things. People have been sending me a few things to play on. I have a studio at the house, so it's been interesting. And I practice. And I go through spurts of practicing and don't practice and practice and don't practice. So it's been really interesting, you know. But I think the COVID just kind of messes with your head as well, you know. As much as I love golf, I played November, and then I played in a tournament in November. Then not very much, you know, at all. Just haven't even really felt like getting out. And the way they do it now, everybody has their own cart, so everybody's isolated. They have things where you don't touch the sand traps, nothing. They made it very, very safe. So, but I just haven't been motivated to do much of that either. To tell you the
Hard to
truth.
get excited, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm ready for this to end.
Oh, I think
You know?
everybody is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had your first vaccination yet?
No, it was crazy getting online to get that done. It's been, the supply has been, it's been lacking. And then but now I have an appointment for March 2nd. My wife and I will have it done then.
Oh, good. So it's just around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have to go to one of those big centers. We're going to a special place to get it done. So we're in good shape.
That's nice.
We'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
So have you had the vaccine?
No, I'm waiting.
You're waiting?
As soon as they hit my age group, I'm going to try to get in right away because, man, I just want to be somewhat protected. It's scary.
Oh, yeah. No question.
Oh.
No question.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've read a few things from one friend that said that he was dead. He said he was actually dead. He could see his body. He was out of his body, and they were trying to revive him. And he just fought his way back, he said.
Oh.
It was crazy. He wrote a whole thing about it. I'll send it to you. It's an unbelievable read.
Yeah.
And no exaggeration, this guy is straight up his life as you can be. So that's that.
Wow.
But other than that, I've been listening to a lot of music, organizing stuff. And I listened to a couple of things that we've done in the past. It's funny you mentioned Pat Martino. I listened to some of the stuff we did at Java with you, me, and Pat. Interesting.
That was an interesting scene, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They opened the door and there was like 1 million people trying to come in.
Yes. And then I listened to you, me, and Perry. That sounds great.
That set we did in L.A. over there was it's still got the fire, man.
That's awesome set, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
what about
awesome.
That track I did for you with Chuck Lowe?
Oh yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
When you do, I want to hear that, man. That is such a killing track, man.
Great. Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. Oh yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for doing that too. You popped that solo on there.
Well, man, that's what I do.
Oh yeah.
Man, I miss you. How is your family? How's everybody doing?
Everybody's fine. Harvey's fine. Max is fine. Heather's fine. Roz is fine.
Yeah.
We're all doing good,
Oh.
Everybody's fine. Everybody's taking care of business. Harvey's getting ready for the Grammys, and Max is working with Quincy, so everything's okay.
What a tradition you've started, Harvey.
Yeah, well,
your children, man, they're just incredible producers, just incredible. So, wow.
Yeah, I feel fortunate, very fortunate.
Wow, you've been playing the drums how many years now?
Man, I started professionally when I was 14. So,
gosh.
That's a long time, 60 years.
We're not going to tell them 60 years. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
God bless you, man.
I never thought I'd be playing this long, to tell you the truth.
Really? Right.
But it's still fun. It's still exciting. I'm still learning. And I'm still challenged.
That's what I was going to say. What makes you keep going after 60-some years of playing? What makes you want to keep going?
I'm challenged. There's more to do. And plus that feeling of when you're playing and you get it, and it's indescribable. It's just a very special thing.
Wow.
Now, if I feel like I'm just not going to be relevant anymore, then I'll put it away. And I've thought about that, saying, man, look, you've done enough, relax. But I every time I play, it's a whole different thing. I just got to play.
Man, it always jumps when I play with you, Harvey. It's just amazing how you make.
Well, we come from that organ era. I grew up playing with organ trios, and recording with Jimmy Smith, and playing with Gene Ludwig, sitting in with Gene Ludwig, sitting in with Jack McDuff, sitting in with Jimmy McGriff, and getting to play with all these guys, Butch Cornell, and I mean, just on and on and on. So it was just, for me, it was education.
Tell me that story about Atlantic City, because I heard it from more than just you. But is that true? There was clubs right across the street and organ players playing everywhere? Isn't that how you kind of got into the organ thing, or what?
Absolutely. I mean, this one spot called Kentucky on the Curb, Kentucky Avenue and Arctic, where there were 3 clubs, and each club had organ players. And I worked in one of the clubs as a teenager, and we worked the offsets. So we'd go to work at 4 o'clock in the morning and work till 10, because on the weekends there weren't enough hotel rooms. So everyone just stayed in the clubs all night long. They had nowhere to go. So we had breakfast sets, we had late night sets, and people just circulate between the 3 clubs. And let's see, Willis Jackson would be playing at one, and Gene Ludwig or Charlie Earl would be playing another one. Then you go over here and Wobble Davis would be playing, and then Dayton Selby would be playing over there, and then Gene Ammons would be playing over there. And then the jazz club, you see Ahmed Jamal, you see Miles, you see Cannonball. Man, it was incredible.
Oh.
It was incredible.
Oh my
it was
God.
Just incredible. I had such fun. I had a little, they allowed me to be in these clubs. I couldn't be near the bar, but I could be in the club. So everybody knew me. I met everybody as a kid, and it was like a dream come true, for a young musician.
Wow.
And then I got to practice and play with guys that have jam sessions during the day, and they'd always say, come on and play. And so guys would show me anything, One of my mentors was a teacher, a guy named Randy Gillespie, who teaches at Michigan State. But he was playing with a guy named Gene Ludwig. So he spent the entire summer as a house band, first house band, and we were the second house band, because we had a teenager band, and we played the offsets. When everybody finished playing in the morning, that we would play. Keep everybody in the clubs. It was crazy.
Oh my.
Can you imagine that?
No.
People would come in busloads from all over the place, because there was no gambling in those days. So they'd come in busloads, and they would just stay in the clubs the whole time.
Goodness. So music had to be so hot because you guys were playing all the time.
Oh yeah, and the restaurants were thriving, and it was just incredible. Black people, white people, everybody together. There's an article about that that's been out now that talks about Atlantic City, how it was, and how racially everything was just whatever, hodgepodge.
What the heck happened? Geez,
Yeah.
I don't want to go there, but isn't that a beautiful story to know that? And I believe it, because I remember when I was growing up, my father would take me every time Jack McDuff would come to town and everything.
Yeah.
I was young. He would take me to these clubs, and I couldn't get it how beautiful people were, and how everybody was happy. So I can only imagine how beautiful that was.
Oh man, organ music was the music. Everybody danced to it. It was so much fun, man.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I got to work with Charlie Earl and Wobble Davis to help Wobble Davis carry his organ in, man. Come on, I had so much, but I had so much fun playing with those guys, and it was incredible.
Wow.
And one time, Lloyd Price came to town, and he had Slide Hampton as his band, as his music director. And Slide did a chart, and I was the bellhop at the hotel during the day and working at night. And he needed a chart. He asked me if I knew anybody could copy a chart, and I said, I can copy a chart. So I copied the chart for the band. I mean, I'd had 3 years of theory when I was in high school. I had 3 years of music theory in high school.
Unbelievable.
So by the time I went to college, I was way ahead, first year.
Unbelievable.
So,
you told me a story. You said at the end of the night, Jimmy Smith, if he was in town, he'd come in, he'd mess everybody up, right?
Oh, well, it was his club, but they were different. They had 2 guys playing, so he'd come in, they have a jam session.
Uh-huh.
And he'd come in the jam session, and all of a sudden he would just take over,
Yeah.
He was like the boss. He had a Jaguar, a brand new Jaguar, and he parked it in front of everywhere, and he was the boss. When he walked into the place, everybody got quiet. I mean, it would be Jimmy McGriff and Jack McDuff, and I mean on and on. Don Patterson and Pat Martino. Pat Martino was working down the street.
Oh,
Steve Gadd was in town one year working with Jimmy Tyler, so I met him. We were both teenagers. It was like, wow, Cannonball Adderley, Miles, and the great singers, and I mean, it was just, I got to see all the great drummers, and it was an experience, an education.
Oh my goodness, I can only imagine. Did you remember any of the Columbus gang coming through, like Rusty Bryan or Hank Marr or Don Patterson?
Hank Marr was there all the time.
Yeah.
Hank Marr he was at Grace's Little Belmont.
Okay.
And Don Patterson spent the summers there. He and Billy James.
Yeah.
And Pat Martino played with them for a while. And there was another guy named Pat Azara that played with them too.
Oh, was he a guitar player?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Because it seems like every record I find of Don Patterson, it's always Billy James,
Yeah, they were buddies. They were buddies. They were partners in crime. They were tied together at the hip, joined at the hip, so to say.
Unbelievable. You could hear it in the music,
Oh yeah. Wow. And they lived in Atlantic City after a while. They were working all the time, so it was man. Can you imagine that kind of a scene?
No, I just I can dream about it. I wish I was born earlier.
And then there were a couple clubs off the beaten path that had organ players, and I used to go in the back door. They see me and they come sit in and play. I mean, it was just so much fun, man. Very, very cool. By the time I got to college, I worked in college from the very first day I arrived in school because I was already a pro, man. I'd been playing. I was working every kind of gig. I started playing bar mitzvahs when I was like almost 14. And I was playing surf music. I was playing jazz. I was playing trio. But I played with a trio before I went with a guy that was famous in New Orleans named James Booker. He wrote a song called Gonzo. And he was very famous. And I played in his trio when his drummer, James Black, that second had to go back to New Orleans. And so I played in his band for years. And he wanted me to play like Vernel Fournier, So I had an education of playing trio music. We practiced a lot. So it was a lot of fun, man. Meeting Thornell Schwartz and Kenny Burrell and Eddie McFadden and all those great guys.
You're saying the names that man, they're just giving me chills.
The ones on the record, yeah, Hank Crawford, man.
Oh my God.
Johnny Hammond Smith. Got to play with Johnny Hammond Smith. Oh my gosh, you kidding?
Johnny Hammond Smith's music, man.
Yep.
He was Detroit, right? He was a Detroit guy.
Yeah, I played with Hank. I played with Grant Green. Got to play with Grant. Yep, got to play with Grant Green, man.
That's the history of the beginning of the Oregon Jazz. I mean, you're talking about all the people I know, all these names.
Yeah.
Thornell Schwartz was kind of like the first guitar player for the Oregon Trio, right?
One of those cats, yeah. And then a guy named Jimmy Ponders was incredible.
Yeah.
He was a little older than me, and we worked together with Charlie Earl together playing. Charlie had two radio hits back there. One was called Daily Double, and the other was called Millology. And they played on the radio all day long because, he used to be a tenor player. But then he started playing organ. He was so funky on organ, man. It was incredible, man. I ended up doing a record with him. I did a record called Leaving This Planet, which is a pretty good record.
Wow.
After the day, but yeah.
Check it out. Leaving This Planet. Charlie Early.
Oh, you remember him?
That out. Yeah, man. I mean, More Today Than Yesterday is the way.
More Today Than Yesterday. That's right. That was one of his hits.
Wow.
Yep. And then the other one I liked was one called Daily Double. Look that up.
Okay, Daily Double.
Daily Double. Look that up. And then Millology. I still remember that stuff, man. Oh my goodness gracious.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'll never forget those days, man. And I'm in touch with the guy that would play with me. He was kind of like a mentor because I didn't have a dad, and this guy was a very clean living, great drummer, and he took me in his wing, and I used to hang out with him. He let me hang out with him. Then we get together during the day and play, and I could practice on his drums, which was set up there, and I could play his drums at the club. So we're still friends. When I first got my first drum deal, I had them send him a set of drums. So he still teaches at Michigan State, and I've done 2 artists in residence there. So
wow,
it's fun.
Up in Lansing, that's Randy Gillespie's home.
Randy Gillespie, yes, that's Randy. Randy's the guy.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever played with Randy?
I did a gig, me and Fareed and Randy. It was played on PBS.
Okay.
This was just a few years ago. He's
Yeah.
getting up there.
He's 80 now. Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. He's
Little
still
80 something.
kicking like you. I mean, you guys are like incredible musicians. It's unbelievable.
Well, he grew up playing. He played with Wes and all those guys back there. He worked with Wes, so he's got some great stories, man. He has great stories. We talk all the time. We must talk every week. We talk a couple of times. So.
Oh man, I'm gonna bug you for some information. I'd like to bring him on and talk to him because he's like you, a legend.
Oh, he has stories, man. He has stories. He has stories.
Wow.
Yeah, he sure does. He was my favorite and a mentor. He just showed me. He said, "Turn your hand like this, and just relax it, and listen to that." Little thing like that made such a difference.
Yeah, that's amazing, right? Wow. Well, geez, Harvey, man, it's just an honor to see you again this way. I mean, I'm sorry we can't embrace and be hitting together and sweating together, but we will be soon, I hope.
I hope so too. So let's keep it in mind, and things are going to loosen up. But when it's all over, the floodgates are going to open. Everyone's going to want to have music. So
let's do
it. We have to be ready. That's the thing that keeps me going. You have to be ready.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
man.
Hey, Tony, thanks for having me on, man. I really enjoyed it.
Man,
playing with you and talking to you as always. You have such great energy, man.
Oh, thank you, Harvey. Well, it comes from people like you. I learn from people like you.
And I'm learning from the masters as well, man.
Yeah, right.
Well,
God bless you, man.
God bless you too.
You take
all right, thanks, Tony.
Go to the family, and I'll see you real soon, man.
Thanks to all your fans, and I look forward to seeing them.
You got it. I got your website up. I'm going to show them your website, and I'm going to play that video of me, you, and Pat Martino in Jakarta.
Fantastic.
And
all right.
I'll be talking to you soon, okay, sir?
All right, everybody. Cool. Bye-bye, everybody.
God bless you,
Bye-bye,
Harvey.
Tony.
Bye,
everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Wow. Harvey Mason, ladies and gentlemen, in the flesh. What a guy. Can you see that? I have been blessed in my life to work with the best. And the reason why they're the best is just because what you saw. Humble and hardworking and never give up. And that's what I learned. I'm gonna tear up. Jeez, I didn't know that would hit me so hard. But that's the truth. I mean, I learned my work ethics from these guys. These guys that are relentless. They never quit. They're always on top of their game. It's always the A game. And there's no excuses on stage. None. You just go to play, and you better be ready because everybody's going to run you over if you're not. That's been my experience. And with Harvey, I've played so many cool gigs. I've played this gig that I'm going to show you a video from at Java Jazz. He introduced me to Pat Martino. He hired Pat Martino to play with us. Can you believe that? Incredible. I just could go on. We were supposed to do a gig with Dee Dee Bridgewater and Kirk Whalum and Perry Hughes, he was talking about on guitar. And we were ready to go on stage, and unfortunately Dee Dee had an accident. She had fallen, and she couldn't perform. So we went on the stage, because the show goes on in front of a large audience, me and Harvey and Perry Hughes and Kirk Whalum, and we did our job, Hey, before I take you to Harvey's website, I want to say thanks. I see that there's some people who've already been gracious to me. Thank you, Debbie Hill and Gordy from Toronto. You guys are like family. Well, we already knew that. But, geez, your constant support makes me very happy and humbled. Nunya. Hey, Nunya, how are you? You and Craig, California rocks. Good to see you. Thank you, Nick Cabello. Hey, by the way, this Saturday in Columbus, I'll be making some announcements later. I'm taking the Tony Monaco show, the one that goes on the road. Let me get the special banner. See, I'm prepared for everything here. Yeah, see that? See on the right, Tony Monaco show on the road. This will be the first time since God only knows when that I'm taking the band out again live at Woodlands. So you Columbus mates and ladies, all of you, please come to the show on Friday. It'll be live. And, of course, those around the world, it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will definitely broadcast it live. All right, let me take you to the website. There's Harvey Mason's website, harveymason.net. Everyone, visit, learn more about Harvey and all of his wonderful tours. He's one of the most recorded drummers of all time. He's on so many great projects. You won't believe it. Every time I play with him, it's just a humbling experience. But speaking of playing together, this was one of the first gigs that we did. He hooked me up with the great Pat Martino, and we did this gig. So how about a little going to a meeting? Me, Harvey, Pat Martino. Here we go. Wow, what memories that brings. Holy smoke. I forgot how fun that was. I'm still laughing about the performance now. That's what playing live is all about, you know. There's a little different essence. And those of you who join me on my Friday show here, same time, 4 p.m. Eastern, this week I feature Reggie Jackson and the great Derek DeCenzo. You get that same kind of feeling because you get the energies being shared between more than just a drum machine and myself. So it's a whole different energy. And then you get a crowd like that. And, of course, you know, Harvey Mason and Pat Martino, man, you know that that's one of my highlights of my life. You know, you just witnessed one of the high points. And they're not over yet. I'm still having them every day because to be alive today especially is a high point, right? So, wow, thank you for joining the show. Today my guest was the great Harvey Mason, and he and I are very good friends, as you can tell, and as well bandmates, you know. That's the important part. I'd like to thank Mr. Brian Gallagher. God bless you, Brian. Thank you so much, man, for your generosity and your kindness. By the way, Brian, I got to show you what I got. You ready? Okay, let me switch the camera. Oh, can I do this? I got to go back to this one. But look, Brian, I did it. I did it, man. I'm going to be able to start recording the trio multi-track. This little puppy's got up to 24 channels that I can simultaneously record. So I'm all wired and ready to go for Friday, our first shot. So the new sound that you're hearing, ladies and gentlemen, is from this board, the Tascam Model 24. And I'm just grateful that God put it in my hands at a reasonable price. I started looking for boards, you know, because I knew it was the next step. Because on my board up there, as you can see, where is it? There it is. That's where I put my list. See the board there? That's where I put my list of things to do. Like I want to refinish my A143 and my Leslie for my road gigs. And, of course, tax season's here. Got to do the taxes. I'm also looking for an SEO for my website, but also sponsors. That's where you guys come in. You can intermediately sponsor me by just going to b3monaco.com and click on the supporter page, or you can check below for the links. But I'm just getting ready. I just set myself up today for the first instructional video that I haven't done in a long time. The first one's going to be called Licks, Tricks, and Runs. And I'm going to start giving you some secrets on how to play licks and incorporate scale tones. And then my next one is going to be funk, bass, and comp. But see in between the Christmas release and the recording, that says recordings. Brian Gallagher, I'm ready to go thanks to you. So we're motivated and going to continue to go. So as you can see, I've always got something in the works. I think people like Harvey Mason taught me that trick. Next week, my guest is going to be the great Carl Jacobson. Carl now works for Harmon, but he was my good friend and my, I guess you could call it, my boss when I used to endorse Cakewalk software. So he can tell you some stories about our beginnings with Cakewalk. Now he's moved on to Harmon, and I want you to meet a great guy. So my interviews will always be with people that I admire. And let's see, William Paul. Oh, okay, William Paul. He just downloaded our... Hey, somebody just did something. I want to thank you, Gary Schultz. God bless you, B3 Gary. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. So that song that you just heard was Going to a Meetin'. It was recorded by the late, great Don Patterson. So I'm going to continue the tradition here and play something that's, I think, going to swing. I want to swing. Okay, let's get it swinging up too, huh? Whoa, not that groove. Oh yeah, it's time for a song I haven't played in a while. Hey, Darren, Heinrich's here. How's everything in Australia? Yeah. Don't forget to join me. Watch this. This is called production, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to join me Friday with Reggie Jackson and Derek DeCenzo as we do a live trio performance right here for you. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Well, I want to thank this person who just was so kind to me. Hold on just a second. We got to. Tom McGuire, God bless you. Thank you very much for your kindness. That makes me feel extra happy. I'm going to have to play more. Somebody wants me to say thank you, Caledonia Organ Service. Hey, send me a note. By the way, Darren Heinrich, send me a note. We got to get you on the show because that would be a phenomenal thing. My Monday show's waiting for you, Darren. God bless you. Magic's back in the house. Oh, yeah. Right, Magic? Tell him. Darlene says goodbye, Magic. We'll see you all later. Thank you so much, man. God bless you. See you later.